Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us this evening. Happy Friday. We are here again. So thank you so much for being here for another round of The Next Stage here at City Lights Theater Company. This is their all-new, all-digital format for express art delivered directly to you. Every Friday night at 8 p.m. during these sheltered days, you can find original content by local artists being presented live on one of CLTC's social media platforms. There is some music coming your way, some dance coming your way. There are other exciting projects on the horizon, and they're all going to be lovely ways to end your week with City Lights. Tonight, however, we are proud to present to you episode 2 of my original play, From the Files of Denmark Metro. This is a one-act comedy that we have chopped up into 3 episodes. Episode 1 was last week, and the finale, episode 3, will be coming to you next Friday at 8 p.m. We are just about to start, but there are a couple last things. If you've ever attended a City Lights show in person, you know that the experience does not end when the show ends. We love to interact with our audience, and typically we invite all in attendance to join us on stage after the show to grab a drink, grab a snack, and chat about the show so we can answer any burning questions you may have or just discuss what's on your mind after seeing whatever work we presented. Now, we can't do that, of course, here in the digital realm, but we can get pretty close and host a live Q&A after the show. So when the show ends, grab some wine, grab some snacks, still do those things, and then just come back to your screen. We'll give everybody about a minute, plug in any questions you may have about the show into the comment section, and then we will get to those questions at the end of the night. Of course, as always, these times are trying, but thankfully they are also temporary. We all need to do whatever we can to protect the things in our lives that we do not want to be temporary. City Lights Theater Company is absolutely one of those things. So if you are at all able, please consider donating to City Lights Theater Company so they can be here once the virus is not here. We'll put the link to donate into the comment section. I believe it's also cltc.org/donate. It's a pretty easy one. And you'll get that so you can donate later tonight. Now, on with the show. In case you missed our broadcast of episode 1, it's on CLTC's YouTube page for all to see. I highly suggest you check it out. But since you're here tonight, we can prepare you for this evening. Like any good crime show, we've got a intro about a previously on, and we're going to do a round robin with the cast of Denmark Metro to get you all up to speed. So please welcome to our digital stage, Giere Marquis, Blythe Thomas, Roneet Aliza Rahamim, and our special guest star for this episode, Ivette Deltoro. Take it away.
Oh gosh, you guys. The King of Denmark has been found dead by Police Inspector Alma Axelsen of the Denmark Metropolitan Police Department.
And excitable Police Sergeant Mags Mikkelsen. It looks mighty suspicious, dead king out in the middle of a park.
But the chief of police, running for a local election, certainly hopes the case is as straightforward as possible. An enemy of the king, Fortinbras, might be storming into Denmark any minute for crimony's sake.
Ooh. Fortunately, forensic investigator Peter Nielsen brings the news that there was no sign of foul play in the death of the king.
A snake bite.
Ooh. Phew!
How about that?
Oh, and Peter's got a bit of family drama going on too.
As does Alma. Oh.
But luckily, there is nothing suspicious surrounding the death of the king.
Until, of course, another dead body turns up inside the royal palace.
Ooh.
And now, episode 2 of From the Files of Denmark Metro.
Scene 3. A room in Castle Elsinore. A dead body lies on the floor, covered in a tattered tapestry. Peter, Chief, and Alma stand over it. They all have coffee.
That sure looks like a stabbing.
Is that the professional opinion outlined in the official forensic report?
No, well, I haven't taken anything back to the lab yet.
So no?
Well, like I said, Chief, I haven't taken anything back.
So there's no official ruling on the cause of death? That's what I'm hearing.
He's full of stab wounds, Chief.
Peter, you're not.
That heiress he's wrapped up in, too, the tapestry there, it's got stab wounds as well.
You don't understand what I'm.
You can't wound an inanimate object, Peter.
The holes, then, stab holes it's got.
Peter,
Just like him.
listen to me. Is there a tangible, physical, official cause of death issued from your office that I am then responsible for sharing with these hungry news hounds?
I haven't been back to the office, Chief. I said I've been here with you looking at this very obvious and clear criminal stabbing. So no.
Okay.
Okay.
Jumping in here to say that you probably should go ahead and do all that, Peter, what the chief is not so subtly hinting at.
Oh,
Yep.
yeah.
Yes.
Right.
Quietly, though, please, Peter.
Right.
Slowly, too, Peter.
What?
Take your time.
A lot of wounds and holes, Chief. Shouldn't take very long at all to determine that.
Take your time, Peter.
All right.
The media wants something soon.
Yep.
Chief Constable wants something soon.
Yep.
I don't want to go jump into anything inconclusive, Cause a whole frenzy. This would. If it turns out to be murder by stabbing in the palace, a nobleman, that could cause a whole thing.
It was a stabbing, though, right, Chief?
Oh, gosh, yes.
Yep.
Without a doubt.
Right.
This man was stabbed to death. Ugh. Paperwork.
Mags enters.
The Vic's name was. The victim's name is Polonius. Either the king's right-hand man or his jester. Depends on who you talk to. Bureaucrat.
What, any family?
2 kids.
Oh.
Sheesh.
Daughter and son. Laertes, that's the son. He's away at school somewhere. We're reaching out.
And the daughter?
Name's Ophelia. Lives here. Nobody's been able to find her, though.
Witnesses?
1. The queen.
Oh, no.
I am so sorry,
For the
Chief.
love of, I can't believe I
You okay there, Chief?
Happens to the best of us, Chief.
Yeah.
never thought ever in my life I
Well,
would.
Seems like something's going around.
Queen Gertrude saw the murder?
Alleged murder, Chief.
Alleged murder?
Unconfirmed.
Happened in her bedroom, she says.
And
it was frightening. She was frightened.
Megs.
In state of distress, but no less glamorous or stately than you would expect. I'll tell you what.
Well, who did it?
Oh, yeah. She won't rightly say.
well, then, will she wrongly say?
Not sure I follow you, Chief.
It's humor, Mags. Comedy. I'm trying to break the tension with a little bit of comedy here before I really pop off.
It's looking like comedy is not a strength of yours.
Clever wordplay, just to help
Maybe you try to get in a couple breaths here, Chief. Slow and steady breaths, huh? 1, 2, in, out. There you go. Now, Megs, would I be correct in assuming the rest of the notes you have in that report are just as, if not more frustrating than those you've shared so far already today?
That is correct.
Ugh.
Soundly frustrating.
I thought so. Chief?
Yes.
Chief exits.
I feel like she's missing the point. Getting wound up like this. We've got a blockbuster case here.
Well,
Allegedly, of course, but this could put Denmark Metro on the map. Get us some real funding for once. A full staff, computers from this decade, a break room that isn't shared with the supermarket next door, promotions.
well, only if we solve it, Megs. Which is why it would be very helpful for the Queen to actually tell us what she saw.
Said it was too dark and happened too fast to get a good look. Our victim was apparently hiding behind that tapestry there. Not well enough, though, clearly.
Well, why?
I have no idea, and she wouldn't say. Truth be told, Al, And I'm just going off a hunch here. I think the queen is covering for her son.
Her son.
Yep,
The prince, her son.
it's a hunch.
You think the prince murdered that guy?
Allegedly,
Well, allegedly murdered an aide to the king?
his uncle, the king.
Oh, Megs, this isn't some BBC miniseries starring Olivia Colman and Helen Mirren. This is real life.
Who'd play who?
Well, that's not a discussion we need to spend time on right now, Megs. Dame Helen plays me.
Obviously, you've got an authoritative air about you, and I've got Coleman's characteristic charm and wide-eyed gravitas.
Well, I'm glad that's cleared up. Let's now move on.
Who's the chief?
Idris Elba. The studio wouldn't be willing to take a gamble on an entirely female-driven detective story, so they'll swap the minor characters. And James Corden plays Peter.
Yep, I see it.
Mm-hmm.
Returning to my hunch.
Oh, please.
Why isn't Prince Hamlet the king right now?
Well, he was away or something, right? At school or...
He was away at school when his father, the old king, died, right?
Mhm.
But even so, the line of success would still make him...
Succession.
What?
Succession, not success.
Well, it's not a success yet, Al, but it's a strong theory if you'll let me finish. Hamlet should be the king right now, is what I'm getting at. But because of the sudden passing of the king and this Fortinbras business, they declare an emergency transition of power to the king's brother, who then marries his brother's wife, which is, I'm a Queen Gertie girl, as you know. I make no secret of my admiration, but
Megs, please.
the prince comes home to mourn his father and instead is treated to the news that he lost the throne via bureaucratic meddling to his uncle, who is now married to his mother. I mean, no ifs, ands, or buts about it. That's a real kick in the pants, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Who wouldn't seek a bit of retribution on the bureaucrat who put the whole stinky enchilada together?
Okay, then.
Yep.
That's some dang fine hunch in there, Sergeant Nicholson.
Oh, thanks, Al.
We'll need, evidence.
Of course.
There's a whole investigation we have to do.
Yeah.
But it's a compelling place to start, at the very least.
That sounds less complimentary than before, but I'll take it.
How did you come up with this?
Oh, just took a look at all the angles, saw the whole picture, the puzzle and the pieces, saw where they can fit, intuition. Also, King Claudius flat out told me Hamlet did it. Admirable self-control there, Al.
Yeah, King Claudius said. He says, the king says the prince killed this man?
Yeah, he's very certain.
Did he see it happen?
Oh, no.
What?
He wasn't there.
Did Gertrude tell him it was Hamlet?
No.
Then how can he say that?
He's very certain.
Oh.
He says the prince has been acting real hinky the last few days. Strange behavior. Says Hamlet's our culprit, no doubt.
Did you get a statement from him? From Hamlet? An alibi?
I can't find him. Nobody can.
We can't find the victim's daughter, can't find the potential suspect, who is the dang prince.
Couldn't even find the body at first. This all happened yesterday.
What the hell is going on here?
Chief enters.
Okay, thank you much. That was Peter from the forensic lab. It's a stabbing.
Oh.
Peter sits at Alma's desk. Ophelia sits opposite him.
So we get my stepdaughter this cell phone. I used one, you see, refurbished, it's called, in case you didn't know. Not everyone does. The hardware has been used and returned, but they clean out the computery stuff.
Software.
Right. Hardware, software, software. They wipe all the apps and pictures and numbers and everything, but it doesn't change the number on the phone. And that is where the trouble started, because we check the call log, not actively, Mind you, my wife and I, we just, when the bill comes, and only if things look amiss, there's a number that keeps popping up over and over and over again. And we're thinking, okay, she's got herself a little boyfriend or girlfriend, but they're long distance, very long distance at the rate they're communicating. My stepdaughter and her friend, that is. At this rate, we're going to go bankrupt. We ask her to keep it to a minimum, these being international messages and all. And my wife takes that opportunity to ask who's on the other side of that line. And she won't tell us. She just flat out would not tell us.
It's important for teenagers to get away with things, Peter.
Oh, you'll get no argument from me there.
It's difficult for parents to accept, but it is valuable for development.
Right.
Independence.
Yeah, the texts are coming from a women's prison.
Oh. Yeah, that's something very different.
Yeah, it is.
Alma enters.
Morning, Al.
Peter, you have a desk.
I know.
You have a whole office, as a matter of fact.
There's no sun down there, Al, and I'm sensitive to that. I got that seasonal allergy thing.
The phone rings.
Oh. Right.
Mm-hmm. Good morning,
Seasonal affective disorder.
Inspector Axelson.
That's it.
Peter, is that her?
Hilda, I
Oh,
told
hi,
you.
Hilda.
The law tells you too, as a matter of fact, that you can't, none of you can make that decision without me.
She's going through some family drama right now.
Peter.
Aren't we all?
I'm not making that call, Hilda. Hold on. Would you mind so much if I had a little privacy here?
Oh, yeah, sure thing, Al.
Peter moves around to the other side of the desk.
So where was I with this cell phone?
Peter.
Nobody's pulling any plugs until we're sure, until we are certain he is not coming back, Hilda.
Oh, right. Yeah, Alma.
Or at least until until I haven't,
Alma, sorry to interrupt.
I haven't been back. I haven't been able to get back at all. And
I can come back another time.
Oh, nonsense, Al.
I can't now, Hilda. I'm trying, but this case is,
I'll just go.
Alma.
what, Peter?
This is Ophelia. She came in to talk to you.
Hi.
I'll call you later, Hill. The order in which you divulge information, Peter, is baffling.
Okay, then.
Please go.
Yeah, I started to feel like, yeah.
Peter exits.
It's a wonder you've not solved anything yet. The mind boggles.
Well, it is certainly more difficult when people don't tell the truth or speak at all in some cases, or simply can't be found in others.
You found me.
I feel like it might have been the other way around.
Ophelia's cell phone rings. She silences it.
I don't have a lot of time, Inspector Axelson.
All right, well then let's do without the neo-noir banter. I'm not particularly good at it anyway. What can I do for you, Ophelia?
I think the real question is, what can I do for you? Right. Okay.
I'm sorry about your father.
Thank you. Are you?
What?
Are you really?
Oh.
People say it, have been saying it to me over and over, very reflexively, and it's made me wonder how many actually mean it.
I mean it.
As a civic duty, sure, but
No, I mean it. Really, I'm going through. I don't know how much you heard of my my phone call, but I'm my family's dealing with the same thing.
Your father was stabbed multiple times?
Okay, not the same thing, but I mean that. Look, losing a parent is complicated, and I don't know what your relationship with your father was like, but mine was real rocky. I haven't seen him in years, and now he's in a coma, and everyone's there. Everyone else but me, because I can't. This case is, I can't make it yet to visit. I can't leave. I also might not want to. Wow. Sheesh, I do not mean to unload all this on you. What with your own father being murdered and all, I apologize.
I'm sorry about my father then, too. He's keeping you from yours.
Oh, it's not his fault. He was stabbed to death.
No, it wasn't, but when you choose to hide behind curtains in an increasingly unstable household like that, you've got to know something's going to happen.
What was up with that anyway? The hiding thing.
I'd love nothing more than to tell you it was the first time, but it was actually a pretty regular occurrence.
Really?
All my life, behind curtains or furniture or just around corners, he was always listening.
Oh, that must have been hard.
Sure, I suppose. When you're an associate of the royal family, hard is an abstract concept. Overbearing father, yes, many have them, but theirs don't provide their family with seemingly unlimited wealth. Mine did. So who am I to say what is hard? When it comes to privacy, between my father and the media, Laertes and I learned early on that we need to be more creative if we wanted to have any. I think we both rose to that challenge.
Have you spoken to your brother yet?
Yes, briefly. He needs... Laertes is one who values his time alone to process.
Your mother? Ophelia, are you okay?
No. But that's not what I came here for.
What is that? Ophelia, you can trust me.
That's closer. How do I know?
Because okay. Here. This is my notebook with everything I've got trying to unravel this ball of yarn being spun out over at the castle, okay? And I mean everything. I haven't copied it down anywhere else. I'm slow on computers. Take it. Take it. Do whatever you want with it. Doesn't matter.
What?
You have been dealing with your father's death. Murder. Your father's murder all alone, Ophelia. That's unacceptable. None of that matters more than you and what you're going through right now.
What if I'm helping them?
Well, then you can tell me that too, off the record. Very off the record.
Thank you.
Nothing to it.
Did I hit anyone?
Nobody important. Coffee?
Please.
Alma exits. Ophelia's cell phone rings. She silences it. She sees a small card on the desk and picks it up. Alma enters with 2 cups of coffee.
Violets?
Oh, some name, huh? I thought about sending my dad some flowers. Decided not to.
Is it a man thing?
No, it's more of a coma thing. I'm not sure what you give an unconscious person.
A visit? A phone call? A goodbye? Just in case.
Thank you.
It is an unexpected comfort that people are at least talking about my father, even in jest or parody. This investigation and the media, disingenuous though they may be, all serve as a confirmation that he did, in fact, exist. That's something my mother never received. My father never spoke of her. And I don't mean he seldom spoke of her, he never spoke of her. There were no stories, no pictures in the house, no sign of her anywhere. The royal court, too, they played along with the same charade.
Well, Elsinore has a real knack for covering things up.
You're beginning to see, Inspector.
Well, your brother didn't share anything with you? A memory or...
Laertes is simple and caring and strong, but his weakness? Powerful men make him very impressionable. Whatever mischief my father worked on everyone else worked just as well, if not better, on him. I didn't know what the word mother was until I entered school and heard other children using it. I went home and asked my father, "What is a mother?" He told me, and I'll never forget this. "Ophelia, my daughter, to expostulate what a mother should be, what a mother is, why day is day, night is night, and time is time, were nothing but to waste day, night, and time." I was 6.
Criminy.
I find myself thinking now, hoping that my father was forced into it, into forgetting that my mother's death or disappearance, whatever it was actually so awful for him that he couldn't work, couldn't function, because he was devastated, because he was important to King Hamlet, so the king forced this new reality on him and everyone else. At least then she would matter. She'd have some impact. That way she's real and my father is heartbroken, not heartless. The stories we tell ourselves.
When no one has any stories to tell you, you have to make your own.
Then I was 12 and angry and sad. And at school, we were learning about sex and bodies and reproduction and birth. And I was there asking, but how does it work without a mother? Well, it doesn't. But how can that be? How could that be? How can a mother be required if I don't have one? How can I not have one? How can I be here? Why? Why am I here if I can't? If there's no way I can? I ran home, just left class and ran, and locked myself in my room. I felt like a ghost, a spirit, and an echo, some initial sound that was so far away that nobody could tell me where it came from to begin with. I felt diffused. And then a letter slipped under my door.
A letter?
"Your mother was very kind." 5 words. No signature. Changed my entire world. A week later, "Your mother once gave me a strawberry." Another weeks later, "Your mother held me often." And more, "Your mother was gentle. Your mother's voice was soft. Your mother had a bright smile." I hid them all, assuming they'd be taken from me.
Did you find out who was leaving them?
Oh, I didn't want to at first.
Oh.
I didn't even know if they were true, but I chose to believe that they were. I had a secret. Finally. All my own, the way my father and brother and all the court had. This was mine. To put a face to that correspondence would mean to share it. I often imagined it was actually my mother, sneaking around out of sight, knowing that I needed her, but not knowing how to reveal herself. She was real. Opening that door would break my delusion. One evening, my father knocked on the door with a letter in hand, and I froze, thinking, it was him. My father wanted to tell me everything, but he wasn't allowed, so he found another way. He loves her after all. He loves me after all.
That's incredible.
It also wasn't the case. He was angry. "The prince tried to sneak into your room and give you this," he told me.
The prince?
I snatched it out of his hand and slammed the door before he could say another word, or God forbid, look at the contents. He thought it was a love letter. Those would come later.
So Hamlet was writing the letters.
He's older than I am. He was a child when she presumably was around Elsinore. She took care of him. He was not as willing as others to forget. He wrote more. We got older, we got closer. We kept each other from being entirely alone, especially in times such as these.
Ophelia, have you heard, when it comes to Hamlet, your father,
I've heard the rumors, Inspector.
it's hardly a rumor, Ophelia. It's a full-fledged accusation.
Do you believe it?
Yes. Do you?
Yes. Right before the night he was murdered, my father had me return all the letters I'd kept. It was crushing for both of us. Hamlet remains the only person who truly understands. Both of us with fathers killed, both of us with mothers missing.
Gertrude isn't missing.
The Queen is not Gertrude, Inspector. Not the one either of us knew.
Are you afraid of her, Ophelia? Or the king, or Hamlet?
I feel split.
Huh.
Right down the middle. A part of me, the reasonable part of me, is terrified and has been for a very long time. That's the part of me that sought you out today. But the other part of me feels this tremendous peace. Like a still pond. First thing in the morning. Crisp. Clear. Capturing the entire picture on a one unbroken liquid canvas.
What picture?
My meaning. Without a mother, one questions not only how one is here, but why. For the how, one did not exist. Then one did. There are gaps to be filled, but they never will be, so one moves on to the why. In my case, I see how it is now. I exist for others, to propel others into action.
What?
King Claudius needed something from Hamlet, so my father employed me, deployed me. Now, Laertes needs to come home, and Hamlet needs to finish what he started.
Do you know where he is?
You need answers. Here I am.
What do you need?
Mags enters with haste, holding Alma's notebook.
Al, you would not believe what I just... Oh, is that coffee? May I?
Sure.
Oh. Hot, 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 hot. Thank you. I didn't have time to pick up. It has been a morning. Let me tell you what. Is this your notebook?
Mm-hmm.
Lazy-ass Oscar says you hucked it at him while he took his breakfast nap. Anyways, good morning. Ma'am. Sorry to interrupt. Sergeant Mickelson.
Ophelia.
Nice to meet you, Ophelia. Now, Al, did you know about the... Oh, sorry for your loss there.
Megs.
Did you know the Queen was coming to visit today?
What?
What?
I just heard it out in the parking lot.
Ophelia.
Some of her security detail was already there squaring things away with those adorable sniffing dogs. I know I can't pet them, but I hope they know I really want to. Anyways, she must be coming soon.
Very soon.
Isn't that exciting?
Inspector.
Holy macaroni and fuck! I'm so excited. How do I look?
Megs.
I'll be sending a package to you soon.
Wait.
Some of my father's old papers.
What about
They'll explain everything.
What's going on?
Quiet.
Talk to your father.
Ophelia.
At least say goodbye. Don't miss that chance.
Okay.
And protect that package.
What about you?
What about me?
What are you gonna do?
A nunnery, perhaps?
Gertrude enters.
Ophelia.
Oh, no, not in front of the queen.
Mags, horribly embarrassed, exits.
What do you think you are doing?
She was just here to see if we had any new leads on her father's killer, my queen. Inspector Alma Axelson.
I remember.
It's a pleasure to see you again.
It wasn't my son.
Did I say it was
Many
your
halves.
son? Well, including your husband, actually, but not us. Innocent until proven guilty. That's the lay of the land here.
Good. Ophelia?
We do pride ourselves on the proven part, my queen. Denmark Metro is very, very good at that.
Gertrude and Ophelia exit. The chief enters.
Alma, did you just threaten the queen?
I did.
For the love
I
of...
definitely did. With a clever quip, I threatened the queen of Denmark.
We're in enough hot water as it is with all this, Alma.
Is this what Max feels like all the time? Reckless?
They want us to shut this whole thing down
What?
and you're over here pretending to be on CSI Denmark.
Did you
I'm surprised you didn't dramatically put on a pair of sunglasses.
They want us to stop?
Word just came down all the way from the top.
It's a murder here, Chief.
Alleged.
That's a load of bull.
I know.
Maybe even 2 murders. It sounds like the king, the old king was maybe, oh Christ, maybe even 3. Ophelia was here, and if we're not careful, if she's not careful,
Alma,
oh, I got to keep an eye on her.
you will do no such thing.
She's in danger, Chief.
No.
And there's evidence coming in.
No. Ducats are thin enough for us as it is without the king deciding to reallocate more of his personal security, Alma, which he absolutely will if we keep poking this bear. Do you want to go back to patrol? Standing guard outside the scene? Making sure nobody touches the caution tape? Part-time?
At least let me question Hamlet, Chief.
Alma, you're not getting it.
Well, then explain it to me.
Look, Alma, we are woefully unprepared for Fortinbras, okay? And our intelligence predicts that...
Well, grab a sword and stand at the edge of town. I'm sure that'll get you elected.
Inspector Axelson...
Well, while you're focused on that, I'm talking about a murder suspect, for Pete's sake, Chief. On the run and...
On the run?
Yeah.
What are you talking? Hamlet popped up 2 days ago.
What?
Yes. Right there in the castle.
And we arrested him?
We didn't even know. The king sent him to England for school, or I think with his friends.
The king, King Claudius, who accused Hamlet of murder, found him and then sent him away with his friends?
Yes.
Oh.
Forget it, Alma. It's Chinatown.
What?
Chinatown. It's from Chinatown, the movie.
Oh, wait.
Jack Nicholson. You've never... He's a cop, solves the case, bad guys get away because the city is so corrupt. Forget it, Jake, it's Chinatown.
That is a stupid thing to say, Chief.
Yes, it felt... Yes.
Okay, that was a good run. I
Oh,
thought
sure. Got a little dark.
it got a little dark.
Right there.
I'm
So
worried
dark,
about that Ophelia
Needed my
gal.
sunglasses.
Oh, yeah. Gosh, it's true.
In case anyone had questions about the sunglasses, they're here to answer.
Okay, yeah. Ooh,
I assume that's the only question we have. is about
we got a great question here about good old Rose and Guild.
Oh, yeah.
What is
The frat
yeah.
boys
Are
from
we?
Sigma-
Double J, one of our favorite Johns. One of our favorite Johns back
Favorite
again. Are we going to meet Rosencrantz and Guildenstern? We do have one episode left, so I'm not sure what I should give away. But no, we will not be meeting Rosencrantz and Guildenstern in Denmark Metro. Rosencrantz and Guildenstern, for those who may not be entirely familiar with Hamlet, are his 2 friends that he was sent to England with. I didn't even want to touch them. I feel like well, one, I'm not sure it fit into all this, but then two, it's like I'm not gonna touch work
That's not in Denmark Metro's jurisdiction.
It's not. Yeah, exactly. England it goes, and also like Tom Stoppard spent he's got a 3-hour show that I think touches everything that they can. So, yeah. So that is the answer to the Rosencrantz and Guildenstern question. As much fun as it would be to say those names with these accents.
Rosencrantz.
Rosencrantz and Guildenstern?
Oh, sure.
Something like that. Oh, sure.
Oh,
I do
sure.
like-
Rosencrantz.
Yeah, I do like Rose Krantz. She
Rose
works the deli over at the
Oh.
Pick and Save.
And Gilda?
She makes
Gilda works with
She
Rose.
makes a good lefse.
and
Gilda
she makes
Stern.
the egg salad they've got going on over there.
Oh,
Oh,
yeah.
Rosencrantz.
Oh, hey, Max, we got a question here, which is, can we expect at least one spit take from each character?
From each character.
I think we've met our spit take quota.
1, 2, 3, 4.
I've only had one.
Chief got one. It gives a little bit away. It gives just a bit away for the next episode, but I will say there are 7 scenes in the whole thing. So episode 1 was scenes 1 and 2. This was scenes 3 and 4. Next week it'll be scenes 5, 6, and 7. Every scene, one of the goals was to put a spit take in every scene. The spit take that I put in scene 5, which will open episode 3, it did not serve anything but the goal of spit takes in every scene. And so I removed it. So scene 5 is the only scene without a spit take, but it is the shortest scene. So we get back to the spit takes pretty quick.
Not to worry.
And after, tune in next week, I will tell you exactly where that spit take was, and you will understand thoroughly, 1, how very funny it is, but 2, why I had to remove it.
Oh my God, I love it.
Yeah.
I feel like it should be like a contest. It's like, guess where the spit take was going to be.
Where it was going to be?
Oh, yeah. That would be a great contest.
Ooh, we've got a question here, which is, how did you come up with the characters' names?
The characters' names, so like Ophelia and Gertrude existed, but the characters outside of Hamlet, I just started looking for like Danish names that were, rather popular. So I just kind of went through like Danish baby name archives online to find them. The Mags in particular, because the joke was there that I think it was always gonna be Magnus, but it was gonna be a man. And I went like, whatever, let's make it not. But then I thought it would be funny if there was a woman named Magnus. And so that's kind of why that stayed, that she's like, oh yeah, so I just go by Mags. It's not that big a deal. Yeah, so that's where the names, I just kind of looked for Danish names.
I love it.
Yeah.
We have someone saying, "Oh, I appreciated the change in the mood of the story with Ophelia." Thanks, Evelyn.
Thank you so much. I'm glad. This was kind of where this little chunk of the show, when you see the whole play together as a full piece, this is kind of where I really wanted to go. There's more to this play than just like a bunch of in-jokes about Hamlet, which would be a lot of fun, but not have kind of any weight or heart, or if you didn't know Hamlet, you wouldn't care about these people. So this was kind of where I wanted to buckle down and really go like, look, there's stuff to care about in this play that is borderline unrelated. Like there's a story here of this, woman who's been like categorically like mentally abused her entire life. And all you see of her in Hamlet specifically is like, she never gets that moment that a lot of Shakespeare's women get, where they get like at least one monologue to rail against the issues. Like in a lot of plays, there are these strong female characters, and they get those moments to at least say what's in here once or twice. And Ophelia really never gets it, which was, I don't know when I intended to put her in the show. It was initially, we weren't ever going to meet any of the characters from Hamlet. It was going to be an entirely separate thing. But then as I was just, immersed in the play, Ophelia stood out to me as this, I don't want to say unfinished, because I think there is so much depth there, but I had so many questions
Mhm.
about Ophelia that I had to answer, or at least that I had to answer from my own brain, including the fact that I mean, there's no mention ever of her mom not once, which is curious because again, like in a lot of characters in Shakespeare don't have all their parents, but there's at least some mention of like, oh, your mother before she this, or oh, your father, and it's just Polonius is so fascinating. So that's kind of where this scene came from.
I love that moment where Ophelia talks about Polonius describing like what not having a mother would be. I was like, that is the most. I was like, is that in Hamlet?
That's ripped. That's totally. I did.
Seen.
I ripped that. That's very
great.
Polonius because I just ripped it and put mother stuff in instead.
Gosh,
Yeah.
Polonius.
Yeah.
Is he okay?
Yeah.
No, he's dead. But I was worried about it.
He's much stabbed.
Much.
We have Sarah Rahamim says she loved The Crown. We loved it too when Blythe pulled it out in our rehearsal today.
Oh my gosh, yeah, we met up early and then we're like, okay, so it's just going to be too hard to drop screen and come back and all this stuff. And without didn't miss a beat, Blythe just goes, well, I've got this and I'll just take it off. Absolutely incredible.
Phenomenal.
It's birthday crown. My birthday's on Monday. So,
Whoa!
Happy
birthday!
Happy birthday.
I'll be wearing that again.
Don't do that.
I'll get that far.
Our birthdays are so close. Mine's next Friday.
Really?
Oh,
You're
wow.
bookending the week.
Wow.
Amazing.
And you're going to be here on your birthday. That's awesome.
Is Ophelia
Ophelia's
episode 3?
I don't want to give away too much, but Ophelia's not an episode 3.
Oh, well, we'll still wish you a happy birthday.
We can still bring Ivette for the Q&A.
She joins the band and like finally gets away from her family. It all works
like
out.
very, very bohemian. She like lives on an old tricked out school bus.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
Deb Anderson wants to know, will Yorick make an appearance?
Will Yorick make an appearance? Yorick
Sir
also
Yorick.
Similarly will not make an appearance.
Yorick.
Or Yorick didn't make the cut. No Yorick. I do not believe any characters from Hamlet come back if I am serving my brain the right information. I think we go back to our core 4, our Fab 4, to finish out the last 3 episodes.
Oh, great.
Or 3 scenes in the 3rd episode.
And then lovely John Jenkins says he loves experiencing city lights in his living room.
All right.
That's awesome.
Cool.
You must
Thank
have
you,
a
John.
really great couch, John.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm jealous.
I bet. Give it up for John's couch at
Yes.
the very least,
Wow.
helping us out by comforting him at home.
We have a question here, which is, what would Ophelia's band name be if she's going around in the boho tricked out school bus? I don't know.
What is it? What is that list of flowers? Doesn't she just list a bunch of flowers?
She
There's
does.
room for you.
Yeah, Rue, Violet.
That's for remembrance. Pray, love, remember.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Ooh, I like
Pray,
that.
Love, Remember. That's her
Ooh,
band's
Pray, Love.
name. Pray, Love.
Pray, love. Pray, love. Here's Rosemary. I forget what Rosemary's
Instead of
about.
eat, pray, love, it's remember, pray, love.
Perfect.
Awesome. It looks like no more questions are coming in
Cool.
from the multiverse today.
Great.
Cool.
Awesome. Then that's
Thank you all for being
all
here
from us.
for episode 2.
yeah. Episode 3 comes back at 8:00 next week, and we are very excited to bring it to you and close this cool project out. I've never split a show before into bits, and this one seems to be well suited. So we're enjoying this very much. I want to thank again Becky and Ron for producing, City Lights, of course, for having us as part of this program, and the amazingly talented individual to my left, Roneet Rahamim,
Oh, I love
Blythe
her.
Thomas, Maria
I love her.
Marquis, and Ivette Deltoro, who took
Love her.
that massive thing. I talked to her on like Tuesday about this, and she took that and amazing work.
MVP.
So yeah, thank you all on the screen with me. Thank you all watching the screen at home. We will see you in a week, and I truly can't wait. Tell all your friends that we will have this episode up on City Lights YouTube as well if they missed it.
Yes. You
Cool.
You can rewatch 1, you can rewatch 2, and be ready for 3.
Yeah.
Thanks all. Good night.
Bye, everybody.